Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and originally I was going to do just one big video, but I decided to break this up into sections. So the first video is the cover, the second video is the building of the signature. So this is video 3 of the 2024 December daily series, and I will be showing you how to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I am using wax linen thread. You can also use baker's twine. I prefer not to use the baker's twine. I like the wax thread better because it slides through the pages easier. I don't have any red. I just have this color and a cream color, and I decided to go with black. But this is an option, and they do sell the baker's twine at Dollar Tree in a variety of different colors. And I think you get 3 for $1.25. They're not that big, but I think it's a pretty good deal. You could also use, someone mentioned, and I forgot about this, you can use dental floss. It's waxed. If you use a waxed dental floss, and I'm not sure how well it would work, but I'm guessing you could dye the color of the dental floss if you wanted to. So maybe if you have some alcohol markers or alcohol ink, you may be able to dye it. I don't know if the wax would prevent the dyeing or not, but it's worth giving it a shot. If you want, a specific color thread. You can also use embroidery floss. I prefer more hard to break threads for journals. And I feel like baker's twine and embroidery floss are more likely to break. I know they're stretchier, so they give over time. Okay. But anyway, so let's use the black wax thread. I got this from Amazon. You can check in the description box below, and there is a link to my Amazon shop where I try to list all the items that I use. I'm going to do 3 lengths of this. If you want to have tails where you can add beads and charms, I suggest do 4 or more just so you have extra. So I'm going to do a little long. I always err on the side of creating a longer tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So like way too much. But if I have long pieces left, then what I'll do is save them and use them as ties for tag toppers, things like that. There's uses for everything. So I don't feel like I'm wasting. All right. So what you want to do is make sure that your signature is in the right way. Make sure all of your pages are positioned the way that you want them. Make sure that everything is going the correct direction. So you can take this out. Take out anything that's not going to be stitched. And again, line everything up the way you want it to be lined up. So once you get to the center and everything is correct, then everything should be good going back. Let's get everything lined up though. So that more centered. But then I have these giant paper clips. You can also use binder clips. Let's see, I want to make sure that I get the short pages held in place. Let's make sure we're gonna fit in there properly. All right, now I'm gonna take another couple of clips and clip it to the cover. Let's see what I got over here on my desk. I'm gonna use these Dollar Tree clips and clip it in place. Now, when you're clipping, you don't want to lay your pages down flat. You want them at an angle, okay? Because we're going to stitch at an angle. And you want to make sure everything is tucked into the cover fold. So make sure all those folds are in there real nice and tight. I'm going to take my ruler. You don't have to measure this. You can eyeball it. You want to do 3 holes. So I'm going to find the center first, and hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to find the center, give it a little tick mark. Then this part is really up to you. I watched a bookbinder years ago, and she said that you should make your hole between the top and the middle, or the bottom and the middle half of that space. I don't know. I just find this doesn't seem very secure. So I do maybe like an inch and a half, inch and a quarter from the top or bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to do an inch and a quarter from the top, and then an inch and a quarter on the bottom. And I think that's good. So now that I've got my little tick marks, I need my pokey tool. Got so much stuff going on here. So I'm also going to have a couple of paper clips on standby. I'm going to open it up. Open this up. This is a good little trick. If you're new to doing this, it'll help you keep your pages in place. All right, some people use a 1/8" hole punch, the We Are Memory Keepers Big Bite to punch these holes. I don't like having big holes in my journals, so I don't do that. I haven't tried it, but maybe one day we'll try it and see how it is. I rather just use the awl. Find my little tick mark here. Fold my cover and journal pages over and push, twisty, pushy, all the way through. And it should come out. If you're holding the paper at an angle like this, your tool should come out on the spine, right on that fold. If you hold your journal open, like if I was to open this up and try to just punch with it laying flat, it probably, the hole won't land on that fold, and you want it to land on the fold. Let me push this out a little bit more. And I want a nice size hole because I don't want to struggle. I don't want a giant hole like what I would get with the punch, but I also want a nice hole so that my needle and thread can go through there. Here we go. All right, so that first hole, I should have told you, take one of those paper clips and poke it through. That's going to hold those pages in position so that they don't move around while you're punching your other holes. So punching another hole here on the bottom. And again, making sure that my pages are in there correctly. Double check. Make sure my pocket is on the bottom. Yes, it is. Okay. I'm gonna take my other paper clip and stick it through. Then I'm going to go to my hole up here at the top, or my tick mark here. And I'm hoping that all my little pages are getting caught with all of this as well. And we're going to punch through. If you hold your paper as close as you can while you're punching, or your journal as close as you can while you're punching, then you should come right out on that spine. So there we have 3 holes ready to stitch. If you want your tails to land on the inside of your journal, which most people do that, then you start stitching from the inside. If you want your tails to end on the outside, start stitching from the outside. I have my little pin cushion here with a couple of needles that I use. I think I'm going to use the bigger needle. You want a needle with a good size eye on it, but not a wide eye. It could be a long, slim eye, but not too wide. I may end up switching needles. I don't know where I got this from. I think it was in an upholstery kit that I got from Family Dollar years ago. It had a bunch of different size needles in it. Upholstery. I can't say that. Upholstery needles. Um, and I'm pretty sure that's where this came from. You can also buy bookbinding needles, bookbinding kits on Amazon. I'm sure I have some linked in my shop. So I'm going to take the middle paper clip out, and I would save these so you don't have to bend up all of your paper clips every time you get ready to stitch. Just put it in your bookbinding kit. Then I'm going to go in through the middle. You can go decide if you want to do top or bottom. I'm going to go in through the top and kind of try and keep your papers at that same angle when you remove that awl so that the hole doesn't move. So here, it went right through. This is going to be difficult because the eye on this needle is a little big. Yep, that's why I said I might switch to the other needle, but we'll try and make this work. Now I'm going to hook this underneath this clip so that I don't accidentally pull my thread all the way through. But I want it to be nice and taut. Then I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom, take this paper clip out, put the needle in, try not to move the paper like I just did. Phooey. All right, let's see if we can get that back open. Yikes, I shouldn't have moved it. There we go. Let's try again. Try not to move anything. I think when I made that hole initially, I was going in at an angle. Okay. So yeah, that's what happens if you move. Now I'm going to pull it taut, but not too tight. Now this is the trickiest part. This is the part that gives me a fit most of the time. We're going to have to go back in this middle hole, but we're going to have to go in. I'm pulling this string towards the direction of the top. We're coming from the bottom. I want to go back in through that hole with the needle, but I don't want my needle to intersect that thread. So I don't want my needle to go through the thread that's already there. Let's see if we did it. Okay. Now, if it does go through that thread, you won't be able to tighten your thread. So that's really important. Try not to split the thread with your needle. All right, so let's take this off now. And I'm going to do some adjusting because I kind of want my tails, these are the tails, to be the same length. So I am going to adjust, and this is where you'll find out um, if you split that thread. You won't be able to move these threads around. So I gave myself a lot of extra. So let's pull that. Okay. So you should have a long straight stitch in the middle and two shorter stitches on the outside or vice versa, depending on if you leave your tails outside. Now you want your tails to end up on either side of the long straight stitch. And I have already torn my paper a little bit, but it'll be fine. Okay. You want to make sure all of that's nice and tight. You want that to have a nice little snap when you pull it. And you can cover this if you don't want your stitches exposed, so that's not an issue either. It's just your choice. All right, so I'm gonna pull, and not too tight because I don't want to tear. And I'm gonna tie a knot. Then I'm gonna do the opposite knot. I don't know what that knot is called, but that knot. And then I'm gonna make sure again that we're nice and tight, nothing loose and hanging off back there. And for good measure, I'm going to tie another knot. And there's probably a better way to do this. This is how I do it. It works for me. I do prefer the 5-hole pamphlet stitch. It's a little more work, but I do prefer that. But we're starting off, so let's stick with the 3-hole. Then I'm going to take all my clips off carefully, not to rip my paper. And there we have it. Now, is this in here good? I think that's in there pretty good. Then I'm just going to go through with my bone folder and press everything down, make sure my pages are in place. Also, this fabric from the ribbon is reinforcing that spine, even though it looks cute, it's also a way to reinforce. And it turns this way so I can press these down. Just train those pages to fold. It's going to be bulky because I overstuffed with pages. I put too many, I'm sure, but that's the way I want it. I think we're pretty good on these inside pages. Now these I didn't fold that great. It's not quite even, but I didn't even look to check that it's not quite folded in the center, but it'll be fine. Let's fold these all over. Now, of course, if you prefer, you can just use staples. If you don't have a long arm staple, if your staple won't reach where you need it to reach, I do have a video showing you how to do that as well. I'll try and link to that in the iCard also. So all these pages we have to write on, decorate on, add weekly calendars to, however you want to do it. Let's see. I think this was folded a little crooked. Okay. So why is that crooked like that? I'm probably going to end up trimming that off. Okay. So there we go. That is our cover. Is anything hanging out of the top that I don't want? So I left plenty of tail here for beads, charms, whatever. And then if I decide not to use it, I can just trim it off. Okay, so we got a clean desk now, but this is the journal. I don't know if I'm going to reinforce or cover this with ribbon later. And we'll also need to come back and figure out if we are going to do some type of closure or if I'm just going to tie something around it. I really like that. We'll also be making a topper for this to decorate the front, although you can leave it as is. And eventually we'll make a traveler's notebook style journal cover that this and other inserts can fit in. Let me know in the comments if you are crafting along and creating your journal. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and you may be interested in these other videos. Stay tuned for part 4 as we finish up the cover and add a closure. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.